Just because she went to class doesn't mean she has class. Somebody sent me a video on IG, man, where this restaurant owner was telling these women that they have no business twerking in his restaurant. He's put his money into a upscale establishment that, he wants to have in Atlanta that caters to people, that caters to his people, man. And, just somewhere upscale that's owned by an African-American individual. And he created this place as an environment for people to come when they wanted to have that upscale experience and not have to deal with what we saw in a recent video of being, discriminated against for no reason in a restaurant setting. Lo and behold, here's this woman, group of educated women, with all of their credentials and all of their laurels, all over social media, all on all of their platforms and profiles. And she's up against the glass in this restaurant. And this restaurant is packed, man. Twerking. Just because she went to class doesn't mean she has class. Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff. Now, when you think about this, we shouldn't be surprised by it because women of all ages, especially those of African descent, the melanated woman, has taken it upon herself to make twerking her international form of expression, as if talking doesn't work, as if speaking to someone about your credentials and your laurels doesn't work, as if speaking to someone about your career objectives doesn't work. You want to know something about me? Watch how I twerk. It doesn't matter what age. You've got women as old as Gabrielle Union. You've got women as young as Sasha Obama. But when this happens in a public setting, and she's doing this with no concern for what anyone's thinking about her, it reeks of desperation and an attempt to seek validation, no matter what the cost. You see, these so-called quality women have no sense of self and are not concerned with the public perception of them, no matter how negative it may be. Let's take a look at this video right quick, man, and we'll come back and chop it up on a real tip.
I invested a lot of money into buying this building, into developing this concept, so black people can have somewhere nice to go to, okay? Somewhere where we can feel good about ourselves as a, come on, stop the music, please. Somewhere where our people can feel good about ourselves as a culture, okay? No, real talk. And so all this twerking and shit, take it to Prime, take it to Pimp, don't bring it here because we're a restaurant. And so beyond that, 75% of my customers are ladies. And I want men to show respect for themselves for how they carry themselves here. So how can I tell the men to respect themselves and you guys are twerking on glass here? If you want to do it, get the fuck out my restaurant. Because I did it for our people and I did it for our culture. So don't do it again. I don't want to hear it. If you don't like it, get out because I don't need your money. I need to provide something for my people. And don't do it again. Thank you.
Now, as I stated, obviously, just because she went to class doesn't mean she has class. You know what I'm saying? See, if her education was her pride and joy, why is she always showing her ass instead of her credentials, instead of her degrees, instead of her educational accomplishments, instead of her career accomplishments, instead of her career goals? Why is her universal form of expression twerking, doing the stripper dance, as I like to call it? Any woman who does this publicly has always envisioned herself, or at least dreamt of being a stripper. And this is the chance to do it without being called a stripper. So you can be a mother and twerk and not be called a stripper. You can be the daughter of a pastor and twerk and not be called a stripper. You can be an educated woman and twerk and not be called a stripper. This is a declaration by the women of American society that what your opinion is of them doesn't matter. As long as they support one another's foolish activity, they could care less about what a man thinks. And that's fine. They don't have to care what a man thinks. But you men out here who are not holding them accountable for that and making them suffer the consequences and repercussions for feeling that way, the problem is you men, not the women. Now I know some beta male said, man, Johnny gonna come in here and say, well, Dr. BOA, the woman can express herself however she want to. You can say all you want to. Just cause she twerk don't make her a bad woman. Just cause she cheat don't make her a bad woman. Just cause she want to be a stripper don't make her a bad woman. Just cause she got her OnlyFans account, man, she be on there showing everything. Don't make her a bad woman, Dr. BOA. Every woman is good. Your problem is, BOA, you want women to be perfect. You want women to be perfect. Well, let me tell you something, Dr. BOA. No woman gonna do what you want her to do because women are free and clear to do whatever they want to do, Dr. BOA. I'm not listening to this foolery no more. Let me go and hit subscribe to a female channel. Unsubscribe. Okay, unsubscribe, sucker. But before you go, let me tell you this. The way God intended is for man to be in a leadership position. For man to be in a productive position. For man to be in a successful position. And for a woman to make herself presentable enough to a man that he'd take her on and invite her into that lifestyle that he's built. For a woman to be home with her father and not be a harlot. And then a man of means will come and marry her because she'd be worthy of it. You men are taking these women on no matter what they do, no matter how they live, no matter how they present themselves to society. They can present themselves as anything they want to, but in the end, one of you beta male simp man Johnnies is going to make her a wife anyway. So why should she not do what she wants to do? Why should she not act like she's not going to be held accountable? Because she's not going to be held accountable. And when you watch this video, most of the comments were directing angst at the man who was simply defending the integrity of his business, an upscale business, I might add. Should he allow this behavior to happen? Of course, he's playing music for the patrons. He knows what music the patrons like, but he's going to understand that his choice of music is going to have to be different. You can't have an upscale establishment and then play music that they play at the damn strip club, because the stripper going to come out of the women in there, man. At least one. As we saw in the video. Twerking is the absolute worst show of self-respect women commit. And the fact that these perverted, sexually depraved men champion that behavior is even worse. Men don't hold women accountable in American society. This woman shouldn't be able to get a man. This woman should have some type of disciplinary action at her job for this. Here's a man who has to do this, which is probably going to cause him to lose some customers. And this wasn't an emotional rant. This was an approach for effect. He said what he said for effect because he could have really put him out. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if some female group or some, mental abuse group, or they make up something and try to attack this man and say that he was wrong and his attack was egregious. When in all actuality, no one seems to want to understand that here's a grown woman out in public who has to be accosted by the owner of said establishment and told how to behave in public like a little girl. This is a grown girl. We say women are like children. Women deny it. Okay, I want you to explain her behavior. And I know what women gonna say. Well, twerking ain't nothing. Yeah, twerking is something. Twerking is what strippers do in the strip club. At least strippers got the sense to do it in the strip club, or do it on a video, do it on their OnlyFans, do it on IG. You are in a public place where stripping is not even possible. You're in a public place where nobody's twerking. There's no twerk competition. There's no wet t-shirt competition. There's nothing. Why would she be twerking in this environment? I'll tell you why. We've reached a sad state in American society where a woman equates her beauty with her booty. American men, especially the melanated man, have an issue with placing demands on women to curb their behavior and act like the queens they profess to be. Yet these same men knowingly and willingly accept the demands of women to be beta male providers and Birkin bag superstars. Hell, they even shame other men for not doing the same type of simp behavior. Salute to this brother for standing on masculine principles and being a true businessman and putting these scallywags in place. Once again, proving that just because she went to class doesn't mean she has class. No man should be willing to accept this type of behavior from women. It's embarrassing. It's disrespectful to the business owner. And I guarantee you, she wouldn't have gone up in Tony Roma's or Macaroni Grill or you name it. And these are not really even upscale places, but she would have gone into those places. She wouldn't have gone into Carrabba's. She wouldn't have gone into Ruth's Chris and twerked against the glass. You know why? Because her respect for other people's establishment does not trickle over into her respect for a black man's establishment. And I wouldn't fault this man at all if he changed his entire marketing scheme and not try to just have this place where his clientele is 70% female, because you run the risk of having these, what I call daywalkers, women with nighttime mentalities who walk around in the daytime exhibiting nighttime behavior like twerking. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.